slay all who oppose.
Dude, we're only getting like 6,000 XP. It's insane. It's like nothing because we did Zone Cage. My torch flame.
Stay sharp, even against
I wonder how many battles it is to get the friend titles with Richard. Because I know I don't use, of all the characters, Pascal and Malik I use the least. So if anyone I'm not going to have, it's Pascal and Malik. But I have Pascal's. I wonder how many battles you have to do, though, to get said friend titles. Hopefully not too many more.
Let's do it. We are. Hey!
Oh my word. You guys gotta work on your coordination. I love that one. That was heavily wrong. Actually, no, it wasn't. Ah, Seraphic Hearts. A shimmering gauntlet that responds to those whose hearts are as pure as angels. Obviously a reference to Tales of Hearts. This is actually the logo. I was going to equip it to Sophie, but I don't have Sophie. I'm putting that on her immediately when we get her back. That's actually the logo to Tales of Hearts, if I'm not mistaken. Which I knew that was from Hearts. First of all, it's called Seraphic Hearts. Second of all, I knew it was the logo to Hearts before I played Hearts.
No one can stand before my blade.
Yeah, it's going on Sophie, like, ASAP. Fine. Oh, Fandom's Light. This is Pascal's? What game? What game is, this from? I have no idea. I can't look. I can't give it to Pascal. A staff filled with promises of making dreams into reality. And oh, is this Dawn of the New World? Because courage is the magic that... They say that stupid line. Courage is the magic that turns dreams into reality or whatever. Other than that, I got nothing. Might have gotten some of the friend titles during the main arc.
Rest in peace forever.
Maybe? Oh yeah, that does make sense actually. But why would I have Hubert's? You never have Richard and Hubert together. These must have carried over from... like, doing NG+. Because, yeah, Asbel, Sophie, Sherry, and Pascal make sense. You can get the friend titles in them, but you never have Hubert and Richard together. So, I don't know how I would have Hubert's. Again, I didn't transfer titles. I transferred, like... I didn't inherit titles for my NG+. I inherited, like, art usage, which might... I probably inherited, like, a secret thing that did something to the friend titles. Because you never have Hubert and Richard together. And you never have, you don't ever have Richard and Malik together either, but you also never have Richard with Hubert. So I don't know when I would have gotten that one.
Nice, Richard. That was impressive. Well,
That's fine, though. I'm just gonna make sure... I'll try to get it in this playthrough. I'll just make sure to use Malik until we get it. Because we're gonna use Richard for the whole F arc. So that's not a problem.
Plus, I will slay all who oppose.
Oh, Master Legion Commander. I got a Soul Orb. I don't know what this, the staff looks cool, though. I don't know what this is from other than Dawn of the New World. Like, that's all I can think of because it sounds like that stupid line. Bum, 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 bum. Gamer. Nothing in the name gives it away as, like, what Tales game it references.
This won't take long.
Behold, Rising Phoenix. Who dares? I was gonna Vertex Rose, but the enemy died. I got the Flash Noble title. That's not Malik's friend, but it's a new title for Richard. Oh, I got it. Nice. Malik's friend. Alright. I mean, it's a new art, so let's learn it. Not to say we're not going to use Malik ever again, but now we don't have to worry about, like, using Malik all the time, because we have all the friend titles. Oh, Undine cloak. Classic Undine. Oh, every cloak looks so cool, though. Undine cloak looks, like, fine. I mean, this doesn't show anyway, but, like... Honestly, I should probably just give these... Because this one has burn effect down. This will be useful later for something I won't talk about. I'm going to keep the F-Free cloak, I think, for now. We'll maybe switch around with Richard.
I'm sensing something strange. The monsters we seek may be nearby.
And with this, your stock will rise, the president will beg to have you as his son-in-law, and...
Again with this? Your lips are much too loose, Captain. What sort of soldier openly discusses his comrades' personal affairs?
Well, usually my lips are sealed, but when it's information we all share already, that's a different story.
My affairs are not common gossip.
Now that you mention it, I'm pretty sure the captain spilled one of my secrets once.
Whatever are we to do with you, Malik? We shall have to find a punishment that fits your crime. Perhaps I should read aloud the contents of a certain love letter you wrote 20 years ago.
I don't know where you got that, but if you read it, I'll be forced to share humiliating stories from His Majesty's childhood.
You would threaten your king?
There's little difference between king and subject in a place like this.
Yes, well, let's put that aside and make for... Hey, stop! Listen to me!
Oh my word.
Those new creatures are controlling the monsters Lambda left behind.
It appears Fourier was correct after all.
Let's do this. We will survive.
Hey guys. Hey, check this out. Excel. I died and casted Holy Lance. I'll take it.
That weapon of yours is quite distinctive.
It's a Strahtan military secret. I can't speak of it.
Oh, I've got it mostly figured out.
Huh? But you...
Man, you sure love getting flustered.
First of all, I don't know if we saw that victory thing. Maybe only once in this whole playthrough. Second of all, that was like the quickest battle ever. Third of all, I am gonna let Epic Release play because, man, this track is great. Oh, Epic Release is so good.
That's the last of them.
We need to find the source of these monsters before things get worse.
Agreed. They're almost unmanageable as it is.
Let's return to the Amarcian Enclave and meet up with the girls. Thanks, Richard.
Dude, I just noticed, if you saw, like, really quickly when Richard was helping Asbel up, that's the, that's on the logo for Tales of Symphonia. On the weapon. That's really cool. I didn't notice that from the image.
You look exhausted. Are you sure it's safe to keep wielding Lambda's power like this?
I'm fine. I'm just not used to it. Besides, I know he's not trying to control me.
Did he say that?
No. I just trust that it's true.
I don't understand, Asbel. I would never have the strength to trust him after what he did.
So is that like... It looks like, that looks like, the wings of an angel of Crucius right there. Kind of. The pink glittery thing, like, near Richard. It looks like wings, like Colette's wings, for example.
It's not about strength, Richard. If anything, I have to believe in him because I'm weak. But I suppose some things can't be helped no matter how hard you believe. When we were kids, I believed we'd be together forever. And so did Sophie. That's not gonna happen. Not as long as we're all human.
Asbel.
We can hope and pray and believe all we want, but it doesn't change a damn thing. That's why I don't know what to say to her.
Yeah, understandable. I said this before, but like, Sophie's worries of like, oh, I'm not gonna die like the rest of you. Ah, Spada, you're also from Innocence. I vaguely remember you from like I've seen you around. Like I said, how do we not have card on number 58? Interesting. Like I said, it's a very legitimate thing to worry about. Sophie's worries, like I really feel for her because it's like it's a legitimate worry, especially for someone like Sophie who's not human like the rest of them, and like she knows that she'll get left behind. Like when they all die, she won't be with them or whatever. It's a legitimate worry.
A moment, please. I need to relay our report for the President.
So what's Fodra like?
That's right. You haven't been there before. Well, it's sad, actually. It's withered and desolate, and everything's dead.
And that's where Lambda came from.
Yeah.
You are conflicted.
Can't hide anything from you, huh? You heard what Sophie said.
Proto's haste was designed to destroy me. That was the entire purpose for her existence. And now that purpose is gone, it's no wonder she's malfunctioning. Without purpose, she's little more than an empty, soulless doll, doomed to be alone for all eternity.
I don't know if I'm wrong here. Would you spell soulless with 2 L's? I thought you would just do soulless, like just 1 L. Or maybe I'm just crazy.
Quite tragic, really. Your human life is limited. How can you hope to save Proto's haste from her solitude?
Well,
Your worries grow with each passing moment. Can you find an answer in the midst of such despair?
I mean, Velvet did from Tales of Berseria, so like, I think so.
I look forward to watching your fragile little mind scramble for an answer.
alone for all eternity. I remember how I felt when Dad died, if I hadn't recovered from that. I thought I'd lost everything, but then Sophie was there for me. It made me happy. It was like being part of a new family. A family.
Thanks for waiting. Let's be on our way.
Dude, every time I play this game, I really love Asbel. I really like Asbel as a protagonist. Like, he's incredibly underrated. Like, I can understand people being like, oh, Asbel's like basic, and Asbel's kind of like not as deep as someone like, I don't know, Luke von Fabre or whatever, but like, not to say anything about Luke, because Luke is also great, but like, Asbel is incredibly underrated. I'm not gonna argue like, oh, Asbel's like one of the best written characters in gaming, but he's really good. He's always one of my favorites. Yes, how dense he is and all, like, I still really love Asbel. Honestly, him being dense makes for some funny scenes, but like, real talk, Asbel is just like an incredibly underrated protagonist, underrated character, honestly. Tales of is just full of standout leads. Velvet, Jude, Mila, Luke, to name a few. Yuri's amazing. For as much as, like, I mean, Vesperia is still a solid game, but like, Yuri's like probably one of my favorite leads. And Vesperia is like not even like one of my favorite Tales games, but Yuri is definitely up there for like one of the best protagonists. I'll give him that.
The girls are waiting for us. Let's hurry back to the Amarcian Enclave.
I wonder if Sophie's gonna be okay after this.
Asbel.
Richard, when someone dies, that's the end of their friendship, right?
Are you thinking about Sophie?
Yeah, what happens after we pass away? We would just end up becoming some distant memory for those left behind. If everything ends up disappearing in the end, what's the point of all this? And where would that leave Sophie? She would end up being all alone, without any of us to support her.
Asbel, let's not worry about such things now. That day is far in the future.
You don't know that. We could die tomorrow, or even today.
Asbel, calm yourself. Even if that happened, all we can do is value the time we have with Sophie. That way, a part of us will remain in her heart after we're gone.
Do you really think so?
Yes, I truly do. Now come on, let's go see Sophie.
I forgot Alphen. Alphen's a good lead. I completely missed Alphen's name, but Alphen's definitely pretty good. I do like Alphen as a character. And there's like leads that are fine. Like, I think Core is fine. I would never put like Core super high up there. Lloyd as well. Lloyd, Stan, and Core are like characters I wouldn't put super high, but like they're not bad. They're fine protagonists. But I wouldn't put them like super high on a ranking. And there's ones I don't really like. Mostly Saray comes to mind. And Luger, I guess, because Luger doesn't really have a personality, so I can't really rank Luger. I mean, I would prefer Luger over Saray because like Luger's design is... Luger has a great design, I'll give him that, but like he's a silent protagonist, unfortunately. Which does not work for Tales of, and they realize that. I honestly think why Asbel's underrated because he doesn't have as much character development as other characters. I think they're wrong. I think people just... You know what I think it is? I think people saw Luke and Yuri. I think people see Luke and Yuri, two back-to-back protagonists. Two back-to-back Tales of protagonists that are like two of the best leads in gaming. And they saw Asbel and they're like, oh, Asbel probably had a lot of competition against Luke and Yuri, so maybe I feel like that's why Asbel doesn't get recognition. Also, people say the story of Graces is cliche and like they follow tropes and whatever, but like, I don't know, like I said, people cannot like the story of Graces, but any slander to the characters, I'm just like, you're wrong, basically. But that's my observation. I can't be right. I don't know if I'm right or wrong, but like, I honestly think Asbel just had a lot of competition, and people say, oh, he's not Yuri or Luke, so they just write him off as like not memorable. IMO. I think that's my opinion of what I think is going on. With the whole like Asbel is like fine to not good. I want more evasion on Asbel. If I can. Oh, +9, just what I wanted.